Hello and welcome back to my RC channel. I'm Andy RC and today I'm going to be checking out the GoFly Falcon CP130. So as you can probably tell by the name, this is a 130 sized model that is running a 3-inch propeller, and it's a fairly pricey model. I think at the making of this video for the plug and fly it's about £106. I'll link it in the below because prices always change, and at the making of this video it's only available in a plug and fly as well, so I've had to add my receiver here. But the 3-inch size is really gaining momentum, and I'm pleased to see that because it seems to hit the sweet spot of that 250 gram weight limit that we hear about all the time, and this one is actually really lightweight for a 3-inch. So without a battery it's 120 grams, and it actually doesn't come with a battery or a charger. In fact, this is all that you get, and a manual of course as well. So yeah, it weighs, with a 3S battery, so this is a 850 milliamp 3S battery, it weighs 187 grams. Now you're probably thinking, why a 3S battery? Well, according to the manual, it is designed for a 3S input. And that might be correct because, now I know some of you might be sitting there thinking, wow, why should I get this over the Fury X140, which is also a great 3-inch model and is a lot cheaper and has got a CCD camera as well. Well, this one has got bigger motors. It has got 1407 4000 kV motors. So on a 3-inch prop, so these are 4-blade, they are 3030, and they're a 4-blade obviously, then we should get decent thrust on a 3S, but I might try a 4S battery at some point. But for this particular review, I'm going to go 3S. It comes with an XT60 on there. So the frame, you can see it's got a lot of cutouts on here, and I guess this is why it is lighter, but it's 3mm carbon, it's very thick, and it seems really sturdy. I imagine if something will break, it will be between here where there's all these gaps, but they do sell a spare part for the frame, which is good. It's got these motor protectors on here as well. So I reviewed the 90 version of this and it was pretty nice, and that one had prop protectors on it. This one has just motor protectors, so there's no prop protectors in the box, but this one is really for flying outdoors and being a little pocket rocket. So underneath here we have got a battery strap. It doesn't have a feed through, which I always prefer, but yeah, it's a small thing. The XT60 connector actually comes out the front, but that's not really a problem. You can just route the wires wherever. So the ESCs, they are a 20 amp BL Heli S flashed 4-in-1 obviously, and this version has come with Betaflight 3.1 flash to it, and it's actually set up for multi-shot. So I imagine D-shot would work with this, but I'm just going to try multi-shot. People say multi-shot's better than D-shot. Anyways, personally I could never tell the difference. So moving up, we have got an Omnibus flight controller here with Betaflight on-screen display, and there's also a built-in buzzer there as well. And you've got a couple of LEDs which are connected to the DIN, so you can configure them, but they are hidden under the frame, so you can't see them that well. And yeah, we've got USB connector on the side there, and then above that, this is the VTX. It is a 40-channel switcher, so it switches from 25 milliwatt to 100 milliwatt, and it's the same kind of system as the 90 version, so a little bit confusing. You've got two LEDs here, one red and one green, and then this button here, if you hold it for a couple of seconds, the red LED will flash once, and then the green LED goes through your 8 different channels. Then if you hold down the button again, the red LED flashes twice, and then the green LED is your band, and then you select that with this button, and then hold it down for a third time, and you got 3 flashes, and that is the power output, 25 milliwatt or 100 milliwatt, and again, that is on the green flashing light. So yeah, a little bit confusing and difficult to remember, but I can live with it. So we've got this same style pod as the 90 version, and we've got metal down here as well, and we've got a sleeve dipole antenna coming out the back, and as I mentioned, this is the plug and fly version, so I have had to add a receiver, so I've added a D8 receiver, and we've got the signal there, we've got the 5 volt there and the ground there, and there's also a 3 volt in there as well. I had to change it, it was set up for Spectrum out of the box, so I switched that to S-Bus, and I just did my usual Betaflight setup on there, so I put the craft name in there, I moved the on-screen display around a little bit. The camera is set up for NTSC out of the box, and I can't see if you can switch it actually. So let's see if it mentions here. No, it doesn't mention, but it's in NTSC. These days it doesn't really matter because, you know, usually goggles support both. Actually got the weight right with this one, 120 grams. It is 120 grams. I've weighed it. You can see there 3S lipo there, and yeah, everything else I pretty much got. But let's see, interesting there, optional equipment 4S. So yeah, I'm not too sure about this running on a 4S. I'm going to try it on a 3S first, and if it flies nice like that, I might just continue to use the 3S, or if it needs a bit more power, I might just go ahead and try a 4S with it, because, well, that'd be bonkers, wouldn't it? 4,000 kV. Yeah, but I have left the PIDs as stock. They just look like stock 3.1 Betaflight PIDs. I had to go and put a load of modes in. So yeah, oddly, the only thing that was set up on the modes was a buzzer on the AUX 1, so I've gone in and set my arming up on a 2-position switch on the AUX 1, and then the AUX 2 I've got for my modes. So these days it's usually angle mode, and then acro and air, with it being 3.1, and then a beeper on the AUX 3. And I think motor stop was turned on. I turned that off. I've left the idle speed the same, so I'll have to see how it performs like that. I've put the command set small underscore angle equals 180 so that I can arm it. That's something that I do now. I'd like to see that as a option in Betaflight actually, because that's something that I do for every flight now. But yeah, other than that, I think it's nice. The only thing that would have made it nicer would have been a CCD camera up the front, and I think that is probably going to be the weakness of this one. But if it flies nice, then maybe that will overcome that downside to it. So I think that's everything, so let's go and take it for a fly. You are going to need FPV goggles, of course, so I'm going to be using my Dominator HT3s with the Real ACC Pro Plus Diversity module, and as this is a dipole antenna, I'm going to be using the Bandicoot linear antenna from Menace and a Omway Cloverleaf antenna to pick up the rest. Okay, let's go for a takeoff. Whoa, it feels zippy already. I was hovering on just a few clicks. That's a good sign. Oh, it's a miserable day here today. What do I expect though? Right, let's go for a punch. Whoa. Yep, 3S is fine. Yeah, so with those high kV motors, we'll stay away from the mud. It performs like the X140 does on a 4S. In fact, I dare say, I think this has even got more than that. Nice whistle off those props, I like that. Oh, it's so muddy out here. Yeah, plenty of power. I like it. Right, let's see what acro mode is like. Yeah, so not hearing any vibrations, but you know, version 3.1, and it's 3.1 naught. It's not like 317, you know. Probably could benefit with having Betaflight upgraded on it. I'm getting good vibes off this one so far. I need to get more 3S batteries in at this size though. I think the 3-inch size is going to be very popular because, well, they perform really well. This one's zippy and light. I do just wonder if there's enough space in there to fit a little micro Swift or something. You could probably make it happen. You could make it even lighter too by removing some of that plastic cowling, but wow, it seems plenty zippy enough for me. I love the noise coming off the props, a little whistle. Probably not going to come through on the camera. Like a little whoosh, whoosh, whooshy sound. Oh, it's so windy here today, but not a problem for this guy. Yeah, actually I think the tune, it seems alright. Like I say, just the stock PIDs, and they are stock PIDs for 3.1, so I think the D's like at 22, something like that. So I have set the cell warning to pretty low, about 2.9, something like that, just so I don't get a buzzer going off at the top of the throttle. But, you know, so far so good. Nice power delivery, smooth, not noticing any vibrations. But of course I'll reserve my final judgment for the FPV flight as always. So let's come in for a landing. Okay, here's some DVR footage taken from my Fatshark Dominator HD3s, and you know, despite this model having a CMOS camera, I think it's a very good quality CMOS camera. You know, just because a model has a CMOS camera on it these days doesn't mean it has to be a deal breaker. In fact, when I reviewed the Runcam Eagle 2 Pro, that was a very high quality CMOS camera, and many say that they prefer it to a CCD camera. Well, this one isn't a Runcam CMOS camera, but I think it's very good quality because this was a really dull day, but it's still managing to pick out parts of the clouds and also the ground at the same time, which is something these little tiny all-in-one CMOS cameras struggle with. But this isn't an all-in-one system. It's not a little tiny thing. It's actually quite a large camera, and yeah, I think it has got better quality than those little tiny ones. So yeah, let me know in the comments what you think. I think it's alright, but I think I do have to bear in mind that at £105, this one is going to be competing with the Fury B X140, which is cheaper. It has a receiver, and it has a CCD camera as well, albeit a copy of the Runcam Micro Swift. I think it's a good deal, but I do think this one is on par with it. I'm struggling to decide whether this one actually has a little bit more power on the 3S without having the more powerful motors. I really like it. As for the tune, yeah, it's not bad actually. This is the stock tune. I didn't change anything. The only thing that I noticed is on a couple of tight turns and when the copter loses height, I was getting some prop wash oscillations. So maybe this copter would benefit upgrading to version 3.2, because yeah, version 3.10, it's quite an old version now, and I think I can tell the difference. So you can see the video reception's pretty good, and that's definitely going to be down to the fact that I'm using the Bandicoot antenna from Menace RC, and I'm using the real ACC Pro Plus diversity module in conjunction with that. So yeah, fantastic video reception with that, a real game changer. The flight time, I think, was just under 4 minutes with this 850 milliamp battery. Yeah, I definitely need to get more batteries of this size, because I think the 3-inch size is going to become popular. I'm seeing lots of 3-inch models coming out now. I don't know why there wasn't so much before. I don't know if it's a timing thing, but I'm really glad of it, because they really do fly like a 5-inch model. They're really fast. And you know, despite this one being more expensive than the X140, it's cheaper than the GEP RC Sparrow that's going to be coming up, and that's another 3-inch model. That one's a real premium model though, so I'm expecting big things out of that, and that also runs off a 4S as well. Now, I might try this one on a 4S. I think it would take it, but that will be another video, I think, because the problem is I don't want to break it or blow it up, because I really like it. But yeah, I might need to try a 4S to get some more power out of it. So there you go, that is my review of the GoFly Falcon CP130. I'll put a link in the description if you wish to get one. And as always, thanks so much for watching. Please continue to subscribe. Cheers.